Good day, Tragic here, and welcome back to Mage Night. This is the final turn, the end of the series. This has been one of the longest series I've ever done on the channel. This is like the 30th or 40th video or something ridiculous. So kudos to anybody who has sticked around. But this should be a fun turn because we are attacking the Necropolis and taking out, with luck, this big dude here. He is level 10, level 12. We've got a 10 attack with Paralyze and Assassination. He's only 4 armor. And remember, we don't have to really... I mean, technically we'd like to kill all the units, but the goal is to kill the avatar, not so much his armies. So we may leave a couple of survivors like we did here, but I'm still going to call that a win. But preferably we'll kill everybody. Now, first thing we need to do is just advance the turn. 1, 2, 3. Oh, white. 1, 2. Leaves us 2 cards left. So there is 1 turn to get rid of those cards. Then there's another turn after declaration. So there's 2 more turns to go. So we made it... I think we lucked out last turn because we drew this card here. But since we're drawing so many cards every time, it wasn't really that much of a long shot. But I'm glad we did, because it would have been a lot worse if we had to wait another turn. But we are here, so let's get into this. So the first thing we need to do, we want to send everybody in. And to do this, we've all got to pay 2 white, 2 move. So that's 2 move for you. 2 move for you. 2 move for you. And wow, you've got tons of move. We drew another wound. There's blue and green. I'm gonna get rid of the green because we've got a move of each type. So everyone's paid their 2 movement to get in. I'm just gonna pull them off the table, because there is literally going to be a lot of cards coming out. Now this move is going to be split over a number of days. So a number of videos, because the videos are going to be so long. Now we have 3 greens, 2 browns, and 2 reds. Let's see if this shuffle. So I have 2 reds, 2 browns, and 3 greens. Excellente. And now we just need to, place them and figure out how we're going to do this. So let's give this a shuffle. We've got an alright hand here, nothing particularly great. We've already used our Refreshing Breeze. So basically we need to assign all our... I don't want to... What's going on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6. We've already spent the movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Yeah, so I kind of don't want to spoil the turns. And I've got a pretty good hand, especially this guy's hand is ridiculous. Because he's got Bow of Stardawn and Into the Heat. So he is crazy. So what we're going to do, we're going to send 2 here, 3 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And that is going to be what we're going to do. So we go 1, 2, 1. Remember, we've got to do it in turn order. 3 to this guy. 1, 2. Oh, he doesn't get the dragon. Damn it. And the last dragon. Okay. So now we are ready to rumble. Let's do this. Flipperooski, what you got for us? Oh, and let's get this guy down as well. Okay, so, Paralyze, Paralyze Assassination. Paralyze, okay, that is a horrendous set of monsters for the first dude. Wow. So, it's a 7 with Paralyze, a 4 with Paralyze, and a 10 with Paralyze. So we have to block every single piece of damage this turn, or we're dead. There's nothing we can do about that. Okay, this is the dead card. Now, this is a wound we already have, so I'm just going to flip it over in my hand so I don't confuse myself. And what I'm going to do, because based on my last time I was doing this, I'm just going to copy all this mana. I'm just going to stick it up here, right? And then just lock it. That's just so I can remember, because this guy can generate heaps of mana. He can generate 2 mana here. This thing can generate 3 mana. This can generate 2 mana. So I just want to be, because I'm going to might have to do the turn a couple of times to get a good combination. And last time when I attacked this city, I kept forgetting how much mana I had. So I've just copied that up here so I know what my mana count was. Basically, it's 2 blues, 3 whites, and a green. Okay, let's get into this. Right, so this is pretty much a dead card. So we start with a armor of 4. We have 10 attack here, so that is 1, 2, 3. This guy does 4 attacks, that's just 1. This guy is 7, so that's 1, 2. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6. Not only does this knock us out, this also paralyzes us. We have to get rid of every one of those incoming damages. What have we got here? We have Fireball for starters. That's Siege Attack 8. Which is enough to kill this guy, isn't it? Elusive 8. So we can use that. What else have we got here? Target enemy does not attack. So we can definitely do that. So boom, and a blue, target enemy does not attack. That gets rid of this guy. He's not arcane immune. Boom. That removes 2 damage. What have we got here? Tome of all spells. Discard a card of any color. Use the basic effect of a spell the same color from the spell offer without paying its mana cost. So what have we got in our hand? We've got red and blue. That's all we've got. I wonder... Yeah, red and blue. There's only one spell, time bending. At the end of your turn, set this card aside for the rest of the round. Oh, yeah, this is a really cool card. We actually might do this. Now, time bending is a very complicated card. Like, time bending is the second ability of space bending, right? Now, time bending is sort of complicated because what it does, at the end of your turn, you instantly get a second turn, and all the cards that you use are then put back in your hand. So you basically get 2 turns in a row. Now, when you're playing solo or you're playing competitively, it's sort of very clear. But when you're doing co-op assaults, it's not so clear. Because basically, when you do a co-op assault, all your guys flip over like this, right? So, say Tuvok casts time bending. His next turn is he automatically flips over, right? Now, there's lots of discussions on the forum. When you do time bending in co-op, do you get a second turn before you flip over, or is your second turn you flip over and basically time bending just gets you your cards back? Either way, if you initiate the assault like Wolfhawk does, her next turn, so the whole combat is taking place during her turn, right? And everyone else is taking their turn out of order, which is why they're flipped up. So he does his turn, then all these people did their turn during his turn. So when it becomes their normal turn, they all flip up. And then the next round, it's her turn. She gets a turn, but everybody else, their turn flips over. So in a way, when you do a co-op assault, you lose a turn, sort of. It's a bit weird. But because she is actually first, when when the whole co-op assault ends, and the important part is we'll get to rotate this disc down. We might get it down to like level, 1 or 2 or something, right? And if we do that, we'll have a very different thing to have to fight. So this, we might actually cast Space Bending, and that means after everybody does their move, she'll get a second turn before we have to flip over this thing. And as long as she'll be able to create the 2 move because swiftness is still during this move. So technically we would have just said, we played Space Bending before we actually initiated the combat. So we'd even get swiftness back, which means that after we do all our attack and maybe wipe out all the monsters, we'll get 1 more assault with just her, because everyone else would be tapped, to take out any remaining health. So I think that's a pretty good safety net. But what we need to do, discard a card of any color, use the stronger effect of a spell with the same color from the spell offer without paying its mana cost. So basically we have to discard that. I'm going to discard Crystallize for now, but we may switch to Determination. So we do this, and that gets us Space Bending. Unfortunately, we have no white cards, otherwise we could have done Call to Arms. Yes, technically I could have discarded this and this for my 2 movement. And then I could do that and Call to Arms and get a big fat monster. Maybe I'll just do that. There's no red. Blue. Target enemy does not attack this combat and it gets -3 armor. Yeah, maybe I'm going to do that. Stuff this. I'm going to discard these 2. Well, not discard, but play these 2 sideways for movement. Then I'm going to discard this and a white card to get, instead of getting Space Bending, I'm going to do recruit any 1 unit from the unit offer for free. And I'm going to take this sucker and drop him here and have some extra power. Now, I can then just go boom and boom. Actually, yeah, and I'll just go attack or block 5, bam, and that'll block this guy and get rid of 1 wound. And what I'll also do, if memory serves me correct, we've got a red. So if I use a red mana off this thing, that is target enemy is destroyed if blocked, and that actually kills him. So that's that, end of him. Now, I still need to get rid of this 10 damage, and that should be pretty easy. We just go click, block 8, and we've got this sucker, bam, 9, 10. So that is 10 block. 1, 2, 3. So we've blocked everything. This guy's still alive. And now all we need to do is attack back with as much force as we can manage. So we've got this guy. So this guy. This card here, gain a mana token of any color, and then the throwaway effect is same as the basic effect, except you get 3 mana tokens of any colors instead. So we're going to use this. We'll take a black and a red. We'll take a red. Is it red? Is it? Play a blue or red. We'll take a red and a blue. We've got a blue up here. So that's 1, 2, 3. And what do we need here? A blue, red for attack. So we go bam. We've got blue. So we're one red short. Okay, so let me think this through. So what did we have? We had 3 whites, I had 2 blues, and 3 whites and a green. So that was what we had. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, that's blocked. That's done. This guy's destroyed. So basically, if we use the red mana here, we are creating 4 attack, basically, because this guy is 4 attack to kill because we did block him, so the elusiveness doesn't happen. So in a way, by using the red mana here, we've generated 4 attack. But if we use the red mana here, we generate 7 attack, which does kill this guy, but we get an extra couple of attack. So we're not going to do that. So you blam, we get the black, we get the red, so that does that thing. We get this thing, and we need a blue, which you take from the dice. I'll put the dice here. So we get the blue, and we've got one more color available here. One more color off this card, so we'll get another red for so we get another red for there. Okay, so we've gone, this thing here has produced 2 red and a black. Remember, it is same as a basic effect, except you get 3 mana tokens of any colors. Now, a lot of people, about 4 different people told me that this card is terrible and gave me hell about taking it. I love this card. 3 mana for your major assaults. That's just powerful. So bam, you bam. That gives me 2. And bam. So we've created those 2 attacks. Now, we still need to does not attack. So there's a blue mana from there. So that is target enemy does not attack. And then we haven't actually used any of this stuff. So we can create a red mana from here. Yeah, bam. And wow, we're killing everybody. Green mana here, reduce that. We'll reduce this guy by 5 armor. And what does white do? Loses all fortifications, that doesn't help us. And we don't even need the white armor or the green, so we don't even need this green. We can take the green from here. Wow. So we don't use this either. That is an insane... So, let me see. I can take 2 blues. So, okay, this guy can also go, target enemy does not attack this combat, and it gets -3 armor. That'll make that... Wow, that's not actually good, because he doesn't attack, so he'll keep elusive. So he'll end up as 5 armor. So that actually loses us a point of damage if we don't use the block. So we have to use the block. Okay, I think that is what we're going to do. So let's do the final tally and go through it one more time, and we'll work out exactly what's going on. So we had 2 blues and everything else. Okay. Okie dokie. Just grab that, put it up here. Right. So we are doing our assault. This is what the board looks like. I think this is actually a pretty good turn. So we used, instead of using our 2 movement, we used these two things to get in there. Okay? And this is part of my, I guess you call it a house rule. As long as, in my games, as long as you produce the same result, I don't care if I take back entire moves. But technically, as soon as those pugs were revealed, I was stuck with the 2 swiftness being used for movement. So I just didn't think it through because these cards are basically dead. This card, not so much, because you can pay a blue mana into this card to get a mana of any color. So it's actually very helpful as a way of, you know, keeping your mana source open. Anyway, let's see exactly what happens. We start off the game. These guys are revealed. We discard this guy, and we discard with it a white mana. And that allows us to use the stronger effect of a spell of the same color from the spell offer without paying its mana cost. Okay? So we discard them, and we grab this unit because we're doing Call to Arms, which is recruit any 1 unit from the unit offer for free. And so that's that. So we've recruited a new unit. Yablam. Now we have to deal with 1, 2, 3 damage, 1 damage, 1, 2 damage coming from these guys. So this guy gets 3 damage, 1 damage from him, and 2 damage from him, all with paralyze. That's just horrific, but we can handle it. So the first thing we do is simply block 5 with this guy. Bam, block 5. And this guy's blocked. So he's blocked because he only attacks with 4. So that gets rid of 1 damage and 1 of the paralyzations. We're going to tap this dude, and we're going to use the blue target enemy does not attack. And that gets rid of this guy and 2 wounds. Bam, bam. Then we're going to go this guy, that is block 8, plus this thing. This is why I didn't remember the first time I kept discarding my blocks because we could take the damage into our hands. But in this time during the setup, I wasn't discarding my blocks because I knew I had to face a paralyzed attack. But anyway, so this is 8 attack, 8 block, beg your pardon, plus 2 block equals 10 block. Bam, bam, bam. So we've blocked all the paralyzing attacks. And now all we need to do is produce as much damage as physically possible. So we're going to put this down, and we're going to create a black mana and 2 red manas, because this thing allows us to create 3 mana of any color. And we're going to use that to go, bam, we'll pay with a blue mana and a red mana. And that produces 9 cold fire attack. Okay. Then we're going to do this, and we're going to take a blue mana off here and a green mana off here. Flip. And we're going to put a blue mana here and a green mana here. So this green mana is armor of target enemy is reduced by 5 to a minimum of 1. So this guy's armor is now at 4. So both these guys are 4. Remember, we block this dude with this card here for 5 block. So elusive is not active. So both these monsters have 4 armor. And then we're going to use... Wait, what's going on? Why am I one red short? I'm 1 red mana short. What's going on? I confused myself for a sec. Let me just do the mana again. Sorry, it's confusing. 2 red mana and a black mana. Okay, so this creates a red mana. So we get a red mana, we have a blue mana, we have a blue mana, we have a red mana, we have a blue mana, we have a green mana coming from there. That's right. Yeah, so let me just check that one more time. Sorry, it's just, there's so much going on. It's hard for it to keep them in my head and talk. So this guy creates one red and two reds and one black. And this guy creates a green and a red. And we have the blue dye from the source. So that is a red and a black for this guy. Remember, it is nighttime, but we're also in the necropolis anyway, so we can use black regardless. We have a blue dye plus a red. We have a blue mana token plus a red. We have a green token plus a blue token, and that is that. And this is thrown away as well. Okay, so let me just grab my calculator because I'm, actually an idiot. I pretend that I know what I'm talking about, but I'm really stupid. So we'll use a calculator, and basically this gives us 9 attack, and there's no, oh, what's going on here? Celsius, get rid of all that stuff. So there's 9 attack coming from here, and there's no resistances. So 9 attack coming from here. We have 7 attack coming from here. And we have 8 attack coming from here. So that's only 24 attack. We have to actually take a wound for this as well. So that's 24 attack. Minus 8 equals 16. Remember, this thing here is minus 5 armor because of the green we put here. So minus 8 kills both of those guys, and then we have 16 divided by 4 equals 4, of course. And that is another 4 tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, we are going to cane this, I think. So that is 4 damage, and I think we're done. So I'm going to leave this all here. I'm going to leave, remember, this is the wound that we take. So we ended up taking 1 wound and killing everything, and we took 4. So that's that. Now I'll calculate all the damage later. Let me get a die. I'll put this on here just so it's a bit easier for me to read. So we've done 4 damage. How do I do this? Let's go 10. So we've got 12 damage to do to him. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how much damage is left to kill. Okay, and that is the end of our first go. Pretty awesome. So let's go to player 2. And what have you got for us? Yablam! Ah. Well, you're a little wuss. So that is 4 attack with vampiric. So, let me have a look over here, because basically we're going to use this guy's ability, which will give us a mana of any color, but it will also give us the next person to use that mana type plus 4. So the next person is actually this guy here. So if we use a green, he's going to get siege attack 7, which is pretty damn awesome. But I don't want to spoil it, but this guy has got a crazy combo. I hope I'm reading that right. So I think we either want to use red or we want to use green, preferably, because they're the two cards that he can cast.